welcome back to Happy Sack episode 4. You guys already know if you've watched before. I'm Shea, this is Ashton, this is Charlie, and we're gonna break down some of our favorite moments in sports. And yeah, we can start with you, Charlie, down there.
So I think like off the top of my head, like it has to be like this past soccer season, going to the playoffs for the first time in like all my 4 years of playing high school sports. Because like obviously like, getting like going to the playoffs isn't like guaranteed for everybody, so it's not like a once in a lifetime opportunity, but like one of a kind of. Cause
once in a high school opportunity.
Yeah. Because you can't always experience it. But, yeah.
Well, some of my favorite memories from high school. Way to keep it short and sweet, Charlie. But
We'll come back to him after.
some of my, or we won't. But some of my favorite high school memories that involve sports. We haven't talked about this yet. I know we were trying to get involved, but team dinners. It's not really like a middle school thing, at least for, I know you guys played like
it's not.
You might go out to dinner with like your team or like, you know, friends and your family or your parents or whatever. But like team dinners, it's more of a varsity thing, but you get to you one person will host, one teammate. I know for lacrosse we had Owen White host last week. We had Augustus chicken, mac and cheese. We had tacos.
He's smiling when he says it.
It's just a great time. You know, you're there with all your teammates. There's, you know, depending on how many kids, if you play football, there will be about 80 of you, and you got to spend about $1,000 on dinner. But other parents pitch in and stuff. Like, I know for basketball, I did have kids over. You know, we just had pizza. We watched some of the Celtics game, and it was a good time. Lacrosse, though, you usually do it. It's different for some sports depending on, like, you know, the parents and, you know, like how close the team is. And most teams are very close. So for lacrosse, we keep it to just every home game. The night before every home game, somebody will host. So we've had, like, the captain, Nathan Alberti's had us over. Bobby Sear, captain. Owen White, captain, has had us over. We still have Michael Daniels and a couple other ones sprinkled in there. I know for basketball, Shea hosted one. His mom made great food. And
Shout out to my mom.
Yeah.
The food was amazing.
Yep, there's chicken parm, meatballs, stuff. I mean, we had cookies, and like it's so different. Like, it's crazy to think about how like long every season is, because that first team dinner.
That was really early in the season too.
Yeah, like there was football was still on like in December. Like we were literally watching Packers versus Rams.
Oh wow! Yeah,
on a
that's right.
Thursday night or maybe a Monday night, and then you fast forward to the end of the season. It's like the end of February. The Super Bowl has just it was on 2 weeks ago. You're about to be on February break. The seasons are changing, and that's like, it was just so awesome to see that throughout the season. That was like another one of my favorite things. And then
for some of them, we went to Popeyes. We went to
like it's not
Mexico.
always. That's like a little bit of a.
It doesn't have
thing.
to be at someone's house. Like that's what it usually is. But for us, we just want to have one like so bad that we just went to Popeyes and we all just got a bunch of food.
Sometimes
it was a great
it's
time.
tough to have. When you have a bigger team, like basketball wasn't big, but you have 14, 15 kids in your house, and, they just came from, it's always after a practice.
Which
so
is
it's like,
the late time, too. So it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
So, like, it'll really depend on what sport you play. Like, football, you could get at someone's, it really depends. Like, I know soccer, like, soccer takes place in my favorite season, fall. So you guys get to be outside.
Yeah, we had practice at like 3, like 2:30ish, something like that. So, like, we would always have, like, team dinners at 6.
Yeah, see, that works out more than us because we had the late practice time.
You, like, go home, shower, get ready. Like, sometimes, like, if we weren't going to, like, someone's house, it'd be, like, Fuddruckers, like, all the time.
Fuddruckers,
so it was always,
nice.
like, I kind of got old fast, but it was still good.
But you guys got to be outside. For, like, a winter sport, it's still just as much fun. You still have a great time. But, like, you know how the seasons are. Yeah. You play a fall sport, you get to go outside. You said you played cornhole, stuff like that.
Yeah, we played, like, cornhole, spike ball. Even one time we ran, like, football a little bit. I forget whose house it was, but we were playing football.
Were you getting pushed around?
I don't remember. It was, like, some...
He doesn't remember he got a concussion. Hard.
It was two-hand touch football. Staying safe for soccer, but
yeah. So for all the kids that are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, if you like are thinking about playing a sport, that's just something else. Like it's just so bonded. Like it's just a bunch of like good friends sharing some good food, making jokes. Like it's just great, man. Like it's just a great time.
What about you, Shea?
I would have to say basketball, obviously for my sport, but I would say senior night because just like
That's a good one.
being surrounded by my family. Like I had a bunch of family there. I had all my friends, and I know that you were also there, obviously, and to be able to like walk out with my parents and like hug my mom and my dad and like it was just great. And I think that was my first like start of the season, if I'm not wrong. I'm almost positive actually. And I didn't have a big role like the season before, so to be able to like kind of improve over the summer and to get that starting role, like because I started like 5 or 6 games, which obviously isn't a lot, but like to go from being on the bench for the whole season to be able to start in a few games felt great. And to start on senior night was great because my family got to see me out there more than they had seen me the season before. So yeah, I would say that, and kind of what Ashton and Charlie were saying, just having all my friends over to my house, like the first week of the season, where like the team is friends, but not like greatly
It's
bonded
fresh.
yet.
Everyone's
It's like
new.
a big friend group,
Because
kind of.
there was a bunch of obviously first year players on the team. There were some freshmen on the team, so to have them kind of have that first like time really like bonding with all the like older guys, and obviously it's a lot harder for them because they're so young and that they're like the freshmen of the team. So it's like oh haha, but like to have them over and to just share good food and a good time. I think those two are my favorite moments in all of sports here at the high school.
I agree with like senior night because for
Yeah, it's a
soccer,
good one.
like I got actual playing time for soccer
Yes,
for
sir.
senior night, so it was pretty fun.
How was that? Did you play a lot or kind of like the
I-
first
How's
half?
your back feel? I know that.
Oh,
carrying
yeah.
the team.
I mean,
You want
that's
to
a
break that
penalty.
down?
I mean, I was just running for the ball. I'm making a hustle play, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And I don't even know how it happened. But I got like my legs kicked out or something like that.
Just kind of in the moment.
We'll put the
I think
ball
you got
video.
fell on the
bumped,
ball.
right?
Yeah, I fell on the ball and like yeah.
Funniest
yeah.
video you guys will ever see.
Terrible. Don't know.
It's just Charlie playing with pure hustle and grit. It's awesome.
But,
Charlie also almost scored, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
dude.
it was a lot. We were up like 3-0, and I got like clinked out before that, but it was like the last few minutes of the game.
Right.
So our coach put me and this other kid in, and then wow.
Yeah. You're 13 or 18, Jesus.
But so I was playing at striker, and Ben Marvin gave me like a lob pass, and I kind of just went with it. It's just me and the defender, and I don't we were kind of like running at the same pace, so it wasn't like I didn't have him, but it was an open field.
So would
And
that have been your first goal? Like
Yeah, for
if
high
you
school.
had scored? Yeah, yeah.
But I got like tripped like right inside the box, like right after the 18, and like the ball like rolled out of bounds, so the ref just called it a game and not like a penalty or corner kick, but
Yeah.
I set on the goal.
So those are our favorite moments. We also could share some of our favorite games. I know obviously we've all played in a lot. Your first season playing lacrosse, I'm sure you've had some great first games. How has that been this season?
Yeah, my favorite game so far this season. We still have a lot of time to go, and we still have our own senior night, so that could still end up being my favorite, which
Right.
I'm really looking forward to that this Friday. But so far, my favorite game of the season for a multitude of reasons was the Tech, our first game of the season. We beat them, blew them out of the water, and I'll never forget the speech given to us before the game. I can't remember who said it. It was one of the
Probably
captains.
Alberti, right?
It was either Alberti or Bobby Sear.
Okay.
Because usually the defense and offense split, so I don't know if we were still just in the defense or if we came back together. It might have been Lawler, and I think it was Lawler.
Yeah, probably.
And he was like, these kids think this is a rivalry. Like, let's just show them what it really is. Let's show them what the truth is. Because there is no rivalry with the Tech as much as those kids. I know we touched about it on episode
I have
1, so
chills,
get
dude.
into it. But there is no rivalry with the Tech. There is, it's not even close.
It's very one-sided.
They'll beat you one time in one sport in like 6 years, and it's their Super Bowl, it's their NBA championship, it's their World Series.
That's all they care about.
If you watched the third episode with our friend Ryan, I know he's kind of in a similar spot as you. How was like playing in your first game as a senior, but your first year playing that sport?
Yeah,
How was
so
that?
he put it really well. Like, you're like one of the oldest guys in the room, but you don't have as much of a voice. And I know it was a little bit different from him because there's only a couple seniors on that team for lacrosse. There is like probably like 8, 9, or 10 of us. But there's a lot of first year guys. Tommy Garrigan, Patrick LeBlanc, Mark Donovan. We're all seniors, and this is our first year playing. And I know a lot of guys just pick it up. Like last year, they had like 5, 6, 7 new kids. Ali, Peter, Sconey, a couple other kids. Mm-hmm. But it is a little bit weird to be, one of the older kids on the team, but not have the experience. But like playing wise, like everyone's, good. There's a lot of underclassmen on the team, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. So, you still can be like a leader as in just showing character and showing them how to have a good time, but being smart.
Exactly.
Even when you're off the field. So, if I can't really impact them on the field as much because, whether it's me not playing or them not playing or me not having the experience or them not having the experience, I do have the experience of, I have done all 4 years of high school and I'm probably a little bit more mature than them, so I can, help them out with stuff like that. But that's how it is.
That's great, man. And that first game against the Tech, I was actually there. It was freezing, but
windy.
I was there just to see, the team that's better to beat the Tech. But you actually played a lot that first game, and that was your first game ever playing lacrosse as a high school senior. It's crazy.
Yeah, my heart was pumping so bad, and it was so cold. So it's like your skin is freezing. You're like shivering on the sideline.
It was bad.
You've never played we didn't even really do like a real scrimmage before because we had like a week and a half of practices. We didn't do a real scrimmage, so I didn't really know when to go, when not to go. It's kind of like hockey. It's like hockey on feet. A lot of people will call it, or hockey on a field. But it was really nerve-wracking. But like once you get in there, you kind of settle into the game. Like everyone, a lot of people have experienced that, and you know what it's like. He knows what it's like.
Right.
But playing time, like it goes up and down depending on I'm not the best player, and I know that, but I know that like I can still contribute, and I have I started one game due to injuries, but
hey, man,
I did still
start,
so I'll keep that. I'm gonna be telling my kids about that for the next 30 years. But like that it was so scary. But that was also my birthday too. The first game of the season, March 30th. So if you guys want to give me birthday presents, but
I still haven't got you one. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but it's okay. But getting a win on your birthday and then going home and having
that's awesome,
barbecue
man.
Was so good, dude.
What was your Shea, what was your first one for basketball like?
It was against Stoneham. That was honestly what my favorite game would have been, or what I was planning on
this
saying.
Year?
Yeah, this year against Stoneham. Ashton knows, like we've said before, he was the team manager, so he was at all the games, all the practices, in a suit and tie on the sideline.
That was so much fun.
It was awesome, but we hadn't won up until Stoneham, and it was away their senior night, which obviously you pick the teams that you want to beat and you think that you can beat as your senior night. Like they picked us, so obviously it's like, all right, like we have to now show them that we're better and we'll beat them. So we hadn't won, and we play them down to the wire. Like the fourth quarter, it's in Stoneham. Obviously that school is not great at all. That's why they're getting a new one. Thank God. I feel bad. My dad's actually from Stoneham, and the school was the same as when he was back in high school, like 80 years ago. But I'm just kidding. Shout out to my dad. But yeah, like it was the first game, or our first win, and it went down to the final second. I know Charlie Rosa. Shout out to him. He played certain parts of each game because he was fast and could just defend anyone. Their best player, their fastest player, he was just all over. So he actually got the game-sealing steal against them.
Like 20 seconds left?
It was electric, man. Our coach, Miko, was flipping out. It was his first win as a head coach on the varsity team. It was his first season. So we all felt... I know Ashton got the game ball. You want to explain how that happened?
Well, we thought that we could get that win. We're like 0-16, by the way. So like we're deep into... This is like February 1st.
We didn't have anything to lose.
It's a Friday night. Deep into the season. It's their senior night. Like Shea said, you pick teams that you think you can beat, or like that you should beat, really. Mm-hmm. And Stoneham picked us. We picked Stoneham. They ruined our senior night. So they picked us, and like you kind of take that as a little bit of disrespect. And I'm not going to take disrespect from Stoneham. No offense to them. They have a rock wall.
All offense.
Yeah, so like we thought it was, and Jim Boyle, our good friend at WCTV, Greco, who a lot of you guys probably know, he's your computer literacy teacher, or one of them at least. Him, awesome. Jacob Roque, which is one of the captains of the basketball and baseball team, and Remy Elliott, who plays soccer, will be one of the captains next year. We all came together before the game, had an extra ball on the sideline that we were going to exchange for the game ball if we won. We didn't want to tell Amico because if you lose, then it's like, oh, man. We knew we were going to win, though.
Yep.
And at the end of the game, Ben Marvin threw it from one side of the court to the other, and I sprint to go grab the ball. And the refs, like, why do you need the ball? Why do you need this? And their athletic director was all upset, and I had to explain to them, and I was like, can we get the ball, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, just wait till, you guys are done doing handshakes or whatever. We ended up getting the ball. And we still haven't done it yet, but the whole team is going to sign that ball. I'm actually the only person that has signed the ball.
I signed it too.
And he signed it
the
too.
last day of school.
Where's the ball
You
now?
would have. I think it's in his office, right?
Yeah, it's just
Coach Amico.
Yeah, it's sitting on his desk in his office. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get a nice plaque for it.
You would have thought that we won the finals, man. Like we
Oh my
we
God.
were electric because we obviously had worked so hard throughout that season, and obviously it didn't show. But we, I said first episode or something that we had like 5, 6, 7 like tight games,
Super
like
close
5-point games,
like down to the
and
last minute, 30 seconds.
most of us is like rivals with Stoneham. Like I've had games for years against Stoneham. My dad's from Stoneham, so that's funny. But like they're always like a like good school to play because they play rough and we play rough too. So like it's always just like a battle every night. So obviously you want to go into their senior night and win. And we did, and that was awesome. And we gave our coach, the game ball. Ashton did. He did all the work for it. But
No.
that was nice.
I said there was other people contributing to that.
Was there?
Yeah, I was the person that got the ball, but
You
it wasn't.
went through all that
Yeah,
effort.
there was. I want to shout out them because Remy Elliott did get the ball, a ball to exchange, which was the big piece of it.
Shout out Remy Elliott too for that. But like that was by far my favorite game of the season. Like that first win against that
That
team,
was so
which
much fun,
I don't
man.
really like, being honest. But yeah, like it went down to the last second.
What
Like
about Watertown? I mean, that was that was
Watertown-
probably my fault. Like we were there for literally like 6 hours because we had to share a bus with the girls and watch them play.
the girls played before us at like 4, and we were at like 6 or 6:30.
That's
So
terrible.
we had to obviously go before 4 to
It's
watch
like
them
40
warm
minute
up.
drive there on a bus.
It's Watertown is in the worst location ever. Like it's like in the city. Like their school. Oh, it's so weird. It's like in the worst place. The bus like. That's why I think only one bus goes because of how like weird and hard like it is to get to that school. But like, yeah, that was a good win. And then if I had like a second favorite moment, I guess I would say the final game against North Reading, which I already talked about in a previous one. But yeah, like that was my final game as a senior, and to beat them, it felt great. When they were going into the playoffs, but they're in the Cape Ann League. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like the league below us. So
It's where Wilmington probably should be based off population.
competition.
based off our school
Definitely
size,
less competition.
so we're playing a team that's like should be worse than us, but they made the playoffs and they lost in the first round. But they thought that they would beat us by 30, and we
Oh.
came in there and we just put it all like, on the
Watertown?
line.
All of those were revenge games. Now that I think
North
about
Reading.
it. All those because
Yeah.
Stoneham beat us on our senior night. Watertown came to the high school and beat us, and North Reading came to the high school and beat us. All three teams beat us on their home floor, and then we went and
All
did it to
close
them.
games too.
I didn't even
That's a
think
good
about that,
point.
yeah,
I mean,
so-
yeah, that's a
And it was
great
all in
point.
February. It was all within like a 2-week span that we got those three. You guys got those 3 wins, and I mean, we got
man,
those 3.
We
wins.
got those wins, baby. Yeah, but those are some of my favorite moments. Think that about wraps up the 4th episode. Thank you guys for watching. We hope to possibly get another student athlete on for the 5th episode if we have one. But thank you guys for watching. From
Thank you.
Shea, Ashton, and Charlie.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys later. Thank you.